Welcome to the Graves Recovery Camp show, where vibrant health is a way of life. I'm your host, Jen Danielle. I'm a real person healing my own Graves' disease with conventional and functional medicine. And now I guide other people to do the same. Are you ready to learn more about healing your Graves' disease? All right, let's get started. At Graves Recovery Camp, your wellness is very important to us, and every care has been taken to bring you the best content to help you achieve your wellness goals. Content from Graves Recovery Camp in no way constitutes medical advice and is not intended to be a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your qualified healthcare providers with any questions you may have regarding a health condition. We also advise you to consult with your healthcare team before changing your diet or lifestyle. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking it as a result of the use of this site content. We make no guarantees about your experience or results from use of our content. You are using this content at your own risk, and you release Graves Recovery Camp, its officers, employees, and consultants of any liability relating to your use. Hello, everyone. It's Jen Danielle, and welcome to another episode of the Graves Recovery Camp show. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about Graves' disease treatments, both conventional medicine approaches and functional medicine approaches. And within conventional medicine, we'll break it down into non-definitive treatments and then definitive treatments. So with conventional medicine, in the definitive treatments, that means that it's going to be something that you cannot reverse. And then with the non-definitive treatments, those are things that are managing the disease but will not be irreversible. And those are the types of things that I want us to think long and hard about. I know it's hard when you have Graves' disease to first think clearly, but then make sure that you're not in a rush to take a definitive treatment that you just can't reverse. So let's dive into it. So breaking it down with the conventional medicine, one of the first items that your physician is going to want to do is make sure that your heart is regulated properly. One of the conditions with Graves' disease is that your heart will race. You might have tremors or be shaky. And one of the first things that can be prescribed is a beta blocker, a heart medication. One of the most common ones is metoprolol, and that will help with those shakes, the heart palpitations, and it's very easy to take. Just a little tiny pill, you just swallow it once a day. What you can also do is set an alarm in your phone to make sure that you remember to take it, because I know that one of the first issues that I had when I had Graves' disease was just remembering to take the medication. I had never been on medication that I really needed to take a lot or consistently. So that was one of the first things that I needed to do. So that is going to be the first thing, is just making sure that your heart is taken care of and not racing. The next item is going to be the anti-thyroid drugs. And this is a drug that's going to be controlling the function of the thyroid itself, and it's inhibiting that overactive production of the thyroid gland. And some of the more common anti-thyroid drugs are methimazole or propylthiouracil, or commonly known as PTU. There has been some research recently that's showing that a long-term use of anti-thyroid drugs is okay. I know that when I was first diagnosed, I was only on the anti-thyroid medication for 3 months, so 12 short weeks, before the next steps of irreversible treatments were being proposed to me. But now, in working with my endocrinologist, she is letting me know that there is research that states that people can be on antithyroid medication for many, many years as long as the liver is still functioning properly. There can be long-term use. So that is good news. But one thing to know with these medications is that they don't address the underlying cause, and there obviously may be side effects of these medications. And by not treating the underlying cause of the disease, you might develop other health issues. So as you know, Graves' disease is an autoimmune disease, and those autoimmune diseases like to travel together because your whole system is weakened. So if you are not treating the underlying cause, you could end up with other autoimmune diseases. All right, the next treatment that I'd like to cover is radioactive iodine therapy. Now, this treatment is where you are basically removing part of the thyroid, or most of the thyroid, with this radioactive iodine. And in the next podcast, I will dive into a deep dive on the radioactive iodine therapy, or RAI treatment. But just at a high level, what you're doing with this treatment is you are removing the thyroid altogether. And that means that you're killing it. But with this treatment, it may not be completely killed. So that is just something to be aware of as well. But radioactive iodine therapy was developed in the early 40s and is something that we still use today to treat Graves' disease. But as you know, when you do remove the thyroid, you won't be producing the hormones that the thyroid gland produces, and therefore you most likely will become hypothyroid, and you'll need to be on medication for thyroid and be doing blood tests to monitor that for the rest of your life. So I want you to make sure you're getting an opinion and a second opinion on that, doing a lot of thinking before moving into that irreversible treatment. The next conventional medicine irreversible treatment is surgery. So the thyroid can be removed surgically, and I have known folks who have had to have surgery for different reasons. Some have had cancer in the thyroid, and surgery is the only way to get rid of that cancer. It is very quick and can be removed. But of course, we hope that you don't have cancer, and this definitive treatment is something that you could think long and hard about. But when people have surgery, the thyroid gland is many lobes, and sometimes it's hard to remove the whole thyroid. So even though you think you're getting all of the thyroid taken out through the surgery, it may come back that after the surgery you still have part of your thyroid gland, and you may still have some of the issues related to Graves' disease. So the surgery is not a silver bullet here. It's going to require you to have follow-up appointments to make sure that there aren't any complications that have arisen through that surgery. And again, there are just things that you should watch out for with any type of surgery. You're going to be going under general anesthetic, and that is always something to just be very, very aware of. So those are the conventional medicine treatments. Let me just review them. So you have your heart medication, so that's the beta blockers. Make sure that you're taking care of your heart. The second one is the antithyroid medication. Next is a radioactive iodine treatment, and finally is surgery. Those are the treatments on the conventional medicine side. Now moving over to a functional medicine approach. this is where you're treating the whole person and getting down to the underlying cause rather than just treating the symptoms with these harsh measures. With a functional medicine approach, some people have found very good results with removing gluten from your diet. If you start to study the American diet, it is filled with gluten, and it really affects our bodies. So that could be one approach that you take. Another is repairing your gut. Because of all these foods we eat and the stress that we have in our lives, our gut, which is so important to our health and our immune system, our gut needs some TLC, some tender loving care. So you could repair your gut. Next is testing for heavy metals. We don't realize this, but we are exposed to heavy metals in a number of different ways, whether it's from fillings in your teeth, fish consumption, or even just the environment. Many people who have well water or city water are exposed to metals on a daily basis. So these metals can deposit into our body, and they continue through our bloodstream, and this can be tested through your naturopath. Excuse me. Next is finding and treating infections. So there are some people out there who believe that Graves' disease was brought on by a particular infection, like the EBV virus. And this is something that there's research on, and it could be something that we need to look out for, and it can be treated. So that means finding out first if you have these infections, and second, supporting your body to get rid of those. Next is supporting your immune system with supplements like a vitamin D or fish oil or other immune supporting supplements. And I do recommend starting off with a naturopath and getting a baseline of where you're at with all these key minerals and nutrients that you need in your body so that you know which direction you need to be going. But the ultimate response here is that your immune system gets very strong and can fight off and reverse the Graves' disease. So those are definitely a longer term approach to treating your Graves' disease. It does take dedication and hard work first to find out where you're at with your body and then implement changes, and they will be changes because we eat all the time and we need to change how we eat, how we live with our stress, and really take care of our bodies and put our health first. So just to wrap up, in today's episode, I wanted to highlight the Graves' disease treatments. Again, there are conventional approaches and functional medicine approaches. With the conventional approaches, there are those approaches, like with the methimazole, that you can take, and they are not irreversible. That means you're not damaging your body in a way that you can't reverse it. Then there are the non-reversible, irreversible ways, which is the surgery and the radioactive iodine treatment. So I want you to think long and hard about those treatments before taking them. And make sure you're first taking care of your heart. Your heart is number one with this disease. You're making your heart beat so much more with that high heart rate. So make sure that that is at the top of the list. Then with the functional medicine approaches, that's really getting to the root cause of the disease and peeling back the onion on your health to figure out where is it that your health is going awry, and what you can do right now to get your health back on track. I know this is a lot of information, and if you are new to Graves' disease, It can be quite overwhelming, but I encourage you to just look at this as step by step. Many people have been able to get better even though they have Graves' disease, meaning that when they have Graves' disease, you're tired, you have a hard time remembering things, or you may have a hard time remembering things. So it is possible to do this with help and the right support. You can improve your health and live a much better life without Graves' disease. So I encourage you to get the resources you need on your side to get better. If you want help with Graves' disease, please reach out through the Graves Recovery Camp community. It is found at www.gravesrecoverycamp.com. There is a community there that you can have access to the courses and coaching to get your Graves' disease under control. This is a disease that nobody wants. You might run into those people who say, "Wow, you look so skinny. What's going on?" And then you share with them that you have Graves' disease and people actually want it. But you know that it's no fun having it. So you want to get better. If you need help, please come over to gravesrecoverycamp.com and get the help you need. All right, I hope you all found that valuable to understand the Graves' disease treatment. And again, if you have any questions, please go over to gravesrecoverycamp.com. Thank you and have a great day. Were you recently diagnosed with Graves' disease? Are you feeling pressured to remove your thyroid? You may feel alone where no one understands what you're going through, but I'm here to tell you there is hope. I believe with the right care and support, you can keep your thyroid, which is the reason for Graves Recovery Camp. It's a community-driven, step-by-step process designed to help you on your road to recovery. Graves Recovery Camp provides the guidance and support you need to mobilize your healthcare team and get better. If you believe that keeping your thyroid is the best choice, we would love to help you do just that. Head over to gravesrecoverycamp.com to join. Hi, it's Jen again. Just one more thing before you take off. Would you enjoy getting a few ideas on the gear you need to get your Graves healing journey started? Just head over to gravesrecoverycamp.com/gear guide. That's gravesrecoverycamp.com/gear guide. Drop in your email and you'll get your gear guide delivered to you. If you sign up, I hope you enjoy it.